You have $5 billion to spend in the dumbest way possible. How do you spend it? What's the best way to win $1 million at a casino? Start with $5 billion. Richard Branson was once asked what's the fastest way to become a millionaire. His answer was, start as a billionaire and launch an airline. I once heard the same quote but with a newspaper instead of an airline. You're right, I did lose $1 million last year. I expect to lose $1 million this year. I expect to lose $1 million next year. You know, Mr. Thatcher, at the rate of $1 million a year, I'll have to close this place in 60 years. CitizenKane.gif. Go to Wall Street Bits and follow all their recommendations. You are now $10 billion in debt, how do you proceed? Hey, if you owe the bank $1 million, you have a problem. If you owe the bank $1 billion, the bank has a problem. Deutsche Bank has left the chat. Big oof. 5 billion lotto tickets, all for the same draw, all with the same numbers. You happen to hit, not the jackpot, but 2 numbers. That's a guaranteed $4 on each ticket, you've bankrupted the Powerball, and now have $20 billion. Improbably stupid, but is this actually how it would work? Yeah, I don't know, I'm sure there is some limit that they just can't pay, but Powerball, you need to pick all the numbers right to win the jackpots, but if you get different combinations you get guaranteed prizes. On the jackpots, there are multiple winners sometimes if more than one person picks the same number, and then that comes up, they just divide it up evenly, but for the smaller prizes they have a set amount, so in theory if you get 2 million of the same ticket, but it hits 2 balls you would win something. Lottery.com the prize payout is down a ways. So, it looks like, if you had 2 million tickets that all matched 2 numbers, they all would win some, but not guaranteed the $7 prize. The $7 is estimated for the average number of winners. If there are too many, they just lower the prize amount. Huh. That's hilarious. Imagine a casino changing prizes based on how the house was doing live like that. Lol. It's different because the house is expected to risk their own money in the game. With a lottery, the prize money comes from people buying tickets and is based on how many tickets people buy. You know how as a kid you sat in the tub and paddled your hands in opposite directions to create a whirlpool with you in the middle? Pay 1 million people $5,000 each to stand in the Hudson, East and Harlem rivers around Manhattan and begin paddling to see what would happen. Build the world's largest ball pit but put it in Kansas. So when the tornadoes hit, it's chaos. Somewhere over the rainbow. Blue balls will fly. Red balls, yellow balls too. Buy a parking space in NYC. I guess $5 billion would be enough for a down payment. Enough for half a bicycle. You could stand in it if you balanced on one foot. Buy a $5 million painting, put it on auction. Participate in the auction and bid against yourself. People actually do this to drive up the price. And also win? If you have a collection of 10 paintings, it drives up the price of all of them. What about 11 paintings? Then the price goes down. But 12? Oh, that's the sweet spot. It stays the same because it doesn't go up or down. I take my $5 billion bills and buy 10 billion quarters. Now I have twice as much. This guy maths. Just not well. Unless he buys 10 billion quarters made prior to 1965. I'm gonna put a beaded curtain along the entire US-Mexico border. I don't know why, but I read that as breaded curtain. I thought that would be a nice way to treat visitors. Hello sir and miss. Welcome to the US. If you're hungry, feel free to munch on the breaded curtain in front of you. Edit, that this is my most upvoted comment is hilarious. Thank you. I read it as bearded curtain, so much hair. Buy $5 billion worth of Coke and Mentos, pour it into a giant pit and watch what happens. Get it in pennies and then pay off random people's collection debt by driving a dump truck full of pennies to each collection agency. This actually seems like a brilliant way to spend it if you have the time. You're being charitable and majorly wasting the collection agency's time. You're being charitable and majorly wasting the collection agency's time. I was at a meeting, a local government office where parking tickets are paid. Someone thought they would be cute and show those bureaucrats what was up, so they tried to pay their $200 fine and change. Didn't faze the clerk at all, they just started counting the money, very slowly, because they had to account for between 800 and 20,000 coins, and mark down how many of each since this is an official transaction, and a receipt was to be provided. And lost track when the cheeky person told them to hurry up because the line that the cheeky person created was getting angry. No one in the line thought that the cheeky person was doing anything noble other than being an obtuse asshole. Middle. After an hour of this, the cheeky person left without paying the fine, and they pissed off everyone. Apparently they came back the next day with a money order for the amount. Yeah, doing this if there are people waiting to also pay their debts would be very rude. But do that many people actually go in person to pay their debts at collection agencies? Drops millions of dildos from planes over Africa. Edit. So far I only count 30 repsons as referencing Toto. Have you gone soft, Reddit? How did you think of this? Edit. Not I understand the joke. It's all I think about. That one damn fetish I could never accomplish, until now. Make it rain. Reddit gold. Platinum PLS. It's $5 billion. Exactly, I mean it's $5 billion. It's enough to buy almost 1 billion platinums for all of Reddit. Then do it. Give me $5 billion first. Do you accept in pennies? Yes, so now give me 500 billion pennies. You gotta pay for the shipping though. That will be $5 billion. Can I pay that in pennies? That will be 500 billion pennies, please. I launched thousands of tons of glitter into orbit to give Earth a Saturn-like ring. Not thousands of tons, but the USA did send up needle-like metal particles to space during the Cold War to hinder Soviet radio communications. The plan worked to some extent, but it was not satisfactory and the particles started to fall back to the Earth after some time. Being as small as they were, most of it did not burn after re-entry, and they still can be found in Antarctic ice. A cloud of these needle-like particles is still up there though. Edit. Some of you pointed out correctly, that the aim of the project was not to hinder Soviet communication, but to enhance their own. I feel ashamed of my mistake and now retreat to enjoy my hangover. That's wild, I had never heard of it so I looked it up. You got it mostly right, but it seems it wasn't to hinder Soviet communication, it was to aid our own. Pretty cool. in.wikipedia.org. Well, that's going to be a till in a few hours. Empty a bay to look for seashells. Call in the media, tell them what you're doing, and then when people show up and the bay is drained, walk out onto the beach. Pick up the first shell you see, before you even get into what used to be the bay, and loudly proclaim this one's perfect. Okay, go ahead and refill it. Then walk away. Slurpees. Everybody's getting duckin' Slurpees. Brain freeze the planet. We getting blue tongues. We getting red tongues. We's the juice. Yeah, just get 5 from the movie theater. Step 1. Get Willy Wonka to build me a house made out of chocolate. Step 2. House melts. Step 3. Get him to build another house in a cold place while I go eat the melted house. Step 4. Be poor, but fat. Pay an Oompa Loompa hit squad to take out Grandpa Joe, the damn benefit fraudster. In-app purchases. Spending money to get me some of that fake money to change the pixels on my video game character, woohoo. And you will still not get some of the RNG loot items. I would buy 1,639,000,000 packs of 1,500 ladybugs from Amazon. Then I would spend the remaining $1 million on releasing them over the Vatican City. Edit. Spelling. Get the printing presses, I think we're gonna need another testament. Nobody expects the Arthropod Inquisition.